Yo, this is Malcolm King Mal,
G.
It's your boy B.
and this is the
Sticking Point.
So today what we're going to talk about is hidden trauma. A lot of individuals suppress how they actually feel, don't talk about it, and when it comes to it, they end and mess up relationships, friendships, everything that you can think of. But this is what we're talking about today. So ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let's talk about today's quote, which says, childhood trauma can leave deep scars that persist in adulthood, affecting our relationships, self-esteem, and overall well-being. Let's talk about G. How you feel about that?
It's profound because it affects everybody, and not just in the black community. And it doesn't matter what racial, ethnicity, background, diversity you come from. It affects everybody to some way, shape, or form, males and females. So a lot of people, usually sometimes I feel like in therapy, they don't really tap into this until somebody kind of exposes it to them, or says, you know what, let's be vulnerable about this subject. And it's hard to do because we don't want to give that side of us to somebody because it's like, well, they're going to see if I rip this Band-Aid off. You know what I'm saying? There's part of me that people want to show the world type of thing. So I think by touching on this topic, it allows us to be open, vulnerable, transparent, and something that we all can relate to. And I feel like by opening this door, we can hopefully make other people say, you know, it's okay to feel that way, and we can build on this. That to me is the take-home message from this.
Definitely. You're actually a psychology major.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that.
No, they don't. I don't disclose that either.
Yeah, so my bad. My bad.
You know.
That's-
Put him out now, you know what I'm
He
saying?
was like, don't tell nobody about this.
No.
We'll edit it out.
So B, with this quote itself, what comes to mind?
Basically what G just touched on. And like you were saying, like a lot of us, especially in our community, we're not vulnerable to really opening up, getting it out. So we do ruin a lot of relationships because we don't touch on that actual hidden trauma that's actually been, there from childhood. And we just go along daily life, ruining lives and stuff. So definitely important.
Definitely. So I personally, like I said, I agree with both of y'all. I feel at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, those that have gone through so much, if you ever notice, like just like this was saying, it affects certain things, they bounce from relationship to relationship, or they stayed in one same relationship, accepting a lot of BS. So, but that being said, like, is there an out, or what's the out? I know you were saying most psychologists don't really deal into it until someone talks about it, and even then, I feel like some of the stuff they do, maybe it's just me, they just do stuff just to be like, all right, the company's paying me. Like, it's very rare you get a psychologist that's really like,
You know, you're on a personal level. You're
Correct.
going to write a report with you.
correct.
Yeah. That to me is, if you take out the financial part of it, then we can tap into another side. But obviously, it's one of those things. It's a business. Just like anything else, it's a business. You know, you pay for somebody's time. But I can only go as far as how much you tell me.
Right.
So you need to be able to disclose any and everything to me. Even though I understand I'm a stranger, but I'm also a professional. This is what I do.
Correct.
You know, I've studied for this for years. And to me, a lot of people have that stigma when I'm telling a stranger about what's going on because I don't even know the intricacies of what's going on in my household. So they don't expose anybody. But sometimes you gotta do that.
Right.
Because we want to know, okay, what got you to this point? Because to me, I feel like, and this is kind of scary to me to a certain degree, you got people who are emotionally, physically, and mentally manipulating and damaging to people, and they just say, well, I love you. I do this because I love you. Like, well, hold on. But because when they were younger, somebody did something to them, and say, I did it because I love you. So that's all they know. So they're like, well, I'm going to do this to the next person too because I love you. And it's like, when you love somebody, like, well, how would you do that to me if you love me? But love comes in many different shapes and forms, and it's like that can be very damaging because it's like, and this person does love me, but yet why would you do this to me? But yet it feels good, so it's that constant back and forth. So it's a very thin line, but to get to the source, You gotta allow somebody to be vulnerable, open, and transparent to say, you know what, this is what happened to me, and how can I do this to be a better person going forward? Because to me, a lot of it comes down to working on yourself, your singleness. Before you get with somebody else, work on your singleness, best version of yourself. It takes a while, and it's an ongoing thing, but work on that to be the best version of yourself, and then, you know, the other person should be the person that compliments you to be a better half. But it's a work in progress.
A lot of people they don't know how to do that, work on that singleness. Like you were saying, a lot of them they so used to like not being by themselves, so they jump from relationship to relationship, but hadn't actually dealt with the root of why you're jumping to a relationship and it's not working. It's you. I've experienced that.
But a lot of times when you tell them that it's you, they'll get defensive, they'll get apprehensive, they'll start coming at you, they'll just start to be combative, and it's like, look, right, we're not trying to go back and forth.
Right.
We want to have a good dialogue, but we want this to be effective. You know,
Right.
we don't want this to be coming at, we're saying things out of impulse, and we don't mean it, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, stupid.
What's the take-home message from this?
Which is true. So I noticed as I was sitting here, we all have a few things in common, right? One of the first things that come in common is at our adolescent moments where our biological fathers, and one of the things I was looking at, absentee father is mainly when a kid says, hey, they don't know, they don't call their father by hey, father or dad, or hey, that's my biological father. So a lot of people, when I talk to people, they're like, yo, that's my dad, but that's my biological father. It was absent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we all experience that. I just want to touch on that, like, and I'll go this way. What's your story?
Yeah, me first, huh?
You first, man. What's your story?
Great, yeah, I know. Well, my story is, so I grew up with my stepdad. My biological father wasn't there and around. Like my stepfather's great as far as like paying bills, etc. You know, taking care of us and stuff. Father figure in the house, but at the same time, it still wasn't like my biological father. So you know, it's a lot of times playing sports growing up, like a kid want their father there at the football games, baseball games and stuff. You know, I didn't experience that. So for that, like going through all of that during my childhood, you know, it put something in me towards like, all right, if I had a kid, this is what I'm gonna do
Right.
different. So a lot of people are like, oh, you spoil your son, this, that. I'm the way I am with my son because of how I grew up. And I'm the annoying dad. I'm like overly loving to him, overly caring. Like I'm there. Every sporting event, I'm there. I ain't missing 24/7. One thing he won't say is, my dad wasn't there. He don't love me. He can never say that.
Facts. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and it may have been you, and I could be wrong. How close would you say your biological father was to you?
Shit, bro. He stayed at one point down the street from me. Right down the street.
If you like on some real crap, how did that make you feel?
I mean, you know, like as a child, you have your feelings, but you don't really know how to like deal with it at the time. It's like, well, dang, why I can't go there? Why I can't do that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like there could be something behind it. I never got a story behind the why. So like,
If you don't mind me asking, y'all have a relationship?
you know.
Y'all have a relationship?
Coming now?
Yeah.
It ain't the best, but you know, it's amicable.
Mm-hmm.
So G, what's your story?
So mine is, I at a young age, I want to say 13, but don't quote me verbatim, but I started having an attitude in school, and my parents was like, you know, your grades are declining, you have an attitude, so we want to kind of talk to you about something. I'm not sure if this is a direct result of it. And at a young age, my brother and my sister, my sister wasn't born at the time, my brother would always tell me, like, you know, your hair is not like mine, you're not light skinned like me. And a lot of times, it'll make me feel insecure because all the girls did gravitate towards him because he had the nice hair, he had that pretty boy look because he was Puerto Rican. And I'm like, damn, you know what? I don't look like you. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit darker. And my hair is not like yours. I got waves, but I gotta earn this. I gotta brush it to get it. But my mom was like, let me tell you something. So the man that you call father, that you have his last name, he's not your biological father. So I was like, okay. So who is my dad?
What age was this?
About 13. And I was like, okay, so who is my dad? And she was like, well, he doesn't know that he has a son because she never told him. So my mom stepped out of her marriage and had me. Was gonna have an abortion, but then went through with it. My dad, that I call father now, gave me his last name, so he raised me since I was born. But I've always carried around the fact that, I'm Puerto Rican. Well, what makes me Puerto Rican? Nothing besides the fact that my dad gave me his last name. Other than that, I don't even know who my biological father is. Do I have questions that I want answers to? Absolutely. Do I want to go seek him to a certain degree? Yes. But I don't think I know is his name. I want to put the time and effort into it because at now, 36, how do I tell a man, oh, I'm your son? He'd be like, okay, and where did this, when did this happen? But at the same time, it's like, well, I want to know his side, like, you know, what happened where you even got my mom to this point knowing that she was married. Do you have kids? What's your family lineage? So it's like, I do have a lot of questions that I want answers to, but as I get older, I'm like, you know what, it doesn't matter because this man that gave me his last name is my dad. This is who I call father. But we don't have that direct connection because of how he was raised. So my father now isn't really emotional, you know what I'm saying? So we can sit in the car and he can be quiet. And I'm good with that. I'm saying, to me, silence is golden, but to some people, that's awkward. Yeah. That's weird. But it ain't like that because me and him just last night, we watched the game. And me and him watch basketball, we watch sports. And that's our connection right there. So it's like, even though he's not my biological father, I have a connection with him as if he was, right? So I have the utmost respect for him because I can tell you now, if my wife stepped out of our marriage and had another child, I would not have anything to do with it. So for him to raise me and knowing that I wasn't his was every Father's Day. Like, we damn near cried about how he stepped in as a real man, solid 10 toes down to raise me. So I have much respect to that.
Gosh, do you feel if you did have the opportunity to reach out to your biological father, that's how we're gonna say it, biological father, do you feel that would be a chapter that you can close? Because listen to you feel like it's a chapter that's still kind of open.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's like, I want to know what are my likes, my dislikes, like where do I get things from? It got to be to some degree from him. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I mean this respectfully, I love women. I like sneakers. I like nice cars. I like to find things in life. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, where do I get some of these things from? Like, and a lot of it isn't from my biological father because he doesn't care for those things. But it's like, my biological dad, my mom always says, well, he likes this, he likes that. Well, shit, how would I know unless I meet him? Yeah. It's one of those things, but I don't really have the desire to put in the time and effort to do it. But who knows? Anything can happen.
There's no anger behind it, right?
No. Mm-hmm. It just made me, to a certain degree, look at my mom like, how could you do something like this? You're married, you know what I'm saying? Especially because my mom is a Christian woman, she's a spiritual woman, religious woman. So it's like, she has that stigma already. So, but it's like, I'm not gonna let this moment define you because we all have some things in our closet. But for me to expose this, for them to expose this was profound because they're still married. And they've been married for 35 plus years. So it's like, even though that happened, they still were solid and they still stay together as a unit, and I respect that because just being raised by a two-parent household has tremendous, I would say, effects on me to this day.
Yeah. So, I mean, your father actually showed you an example of forgiveness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your father.
Yeah, things back then, like people back then, they were more willing to stick it out and work it out than today's society.
Oh, yeah,
like today's society, like
right. But at the same time, when it comes to infidelity, that's grounds for termination. Like, come on now.
For me, like, absolutely.
For most people, because it's like, yo, that's like the ultimate form of disrespect.
God forgive, I don't. Shoot, to be honest with you. Okay.
I know for me, right? So my story is kind of, I feel like the average story, but most people don't talk about it. So my parents, my biological father and my mom, they was rocking. They was together for what I know of a little while. But I remember, like, bro, I remember dreaming. I think we talked about this at one point in time. Dreaming of what happened the night they actually split up. Like, my dad or my biological father stepped out, did his thing. He was out there living life or whatever. He came home, and I remember being in the house, and we was on. Most people don't know what this is, but we was on San Marcos in Seminole County, Sanford, Florida, in the little blue house, because we left out our projects in Seminole Gardens. But and there was like a little cut, so we had the heater. There was a little cut from the living room to the kitchen by the heater, and the heater wasn't on. So I snuck and I was looking, and I'm watching them argue, and I'm hearing everything. I'm like, oh, who is this girl? Who is this? Who is this? And my mama, she didn't play, so she done grabbed a knife or whatever, and then I saw my biological father grab a knife, and I'm looking, and mind you, just to kind of fast forward, I was 5 years old. So from 5 back, my biological father was in the picture, going, like everything. He was like, that dude was like Superman. But to see that, and then see my mom kick him out, initially I catered to my father's side, not knowing the situation. But years came on, just moving forward, and it was just my mom, and he wasn't there. And then I noticed drugs, alcohol, like I was being replaced. You know what I'm saying? And so then my stepdad came into the picture, and we moved, and I started seeing someone kind of give me discipline that I never had before, like take out the trash, or you weren't gonna do this, sweep this, or you weren't gonna do this. And I'm a kid from Sanford, Florida. Like, I lived in Seminole Gardens. I'm from the projects.
What you talking?
Like, sweet what?
Mm-hmm.
Man, Seminole Gardens, you stayed on the top level or the bottom level. If you stay on the top, you can jump to the bottom, and you can do, like, we used to take mattresses and WWE type stuff. Like, so I'm like, what you mean? So I'm fighting this dude at a young age, arguing with him, but I'm just angry. Like, bro, not for nothing, just to keep it real, I recently, probably in the past 6 years, let go of anger. Let go of anger.
That many years built up,
Bro, let go of anger. Just I had to let it go, right? But going through that, bro, it when I say damage, bro, even to this day, I would say there's specks of damage from that.
In what aspect?
Relationships. Like, there's things that I pay attention to. Like, even up till today, and we were talking about this earlier, like, I don't mind giving. I don't mind doing stuff, right? But I want to show me appreciation. And then one of the things is, and it wasn't, and not condoning what my biological father did, but the one thing I know he did was made sure that, hey, certain things, not a lot, my mama had to handle certain things in the household was taken care of, and I know he didn't feel certain appreciation at certain moments.
And that's, for a man, that's like,
that's everything,
that's,
bro.
yeah.
That's everything. So instead of me just being like, okay, just get out your head, do what you need to do, bro. Like, up until this day, I have specks of him. Like, maybe just me. Like, I don't know. And I will say, I'm gonna ask y'all this too. I will say, within the past like year and a half. So my biological father, he ended up staying with me. And like a year and a half ago, brought him in. And the only reason I did it because I had a junior. And I was like, bro, our relationship ain't good, I'm gonna let you do your thing with him. So you know what I mean. So I'm gonna suppress whatever I feel. But fast forward for a whole year, and it may hurt somebody's feelings that may be watching this. But me being the person I am, it is what it is. In May of 2023, because I ain't gonna tell when you watch this. Boom, just disappeared. Today is what? November 15th? My son hasn't heard from him.
Since May?
Bro, since May. Damn. Maybe I'm hurt, but damn shit. Bro, at this point, it's not like I'm saying F him, but for my son, and I told you, I'm like, bro, he can't ever come back and live with me. He can't ever talk to me. Well, hey, whatever, he can come in and out, but I refuse to let my son experience
The same
the
shit
shit
I went through.
that I went through. My bad, y'all.
Yeah.
Damn.
You gotta apologize for that.
But, bro, that
Consistency is key, you know. And the hardest thing for people to understand is that, and really come to grips with this, being a parent, there's no like rule book to it. You know, either you are or you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like either you have it or you don't. It's one of those things. So it's crazy how you got some people in this world who's like, well, I brought you in this world. Okay. And
actually you do.
right. You know what I'm saying? I ain't actually here, but I'm here.
Right.
So now that I'm here, now what? That's my only thing. Okay, I'm here, now what? Because again, the inconsistency, you come in and you going. I don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? But again, moms are usually always there. Fathers always absent. And so we got that bad stigma. So you can be a good father, but guess what? It's gonna be overshadowed because there's so many bad fathers out there.
We get that black men who take care of their
Like,
kids.
right,
this,
exactly.
that, like, and I refuse to be
Right.
put into that category. That's why. Listen.
how do you feel with your father not being there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing, that's another thing we have in common. We're all fathers.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel you as a father now, and it transpired into from your past trauma to being a father now? How did that play a role? Do you see yourself overcompensating on certain
That's
things?
exactly what I was saying earlier. That's why, for me, it's not even just for me. I don't want any kid to grow up without. We're like both parents. Or not we would say fathers, but like both parents. But especially like a black kid without their fathers. That's important in their life because I see a lot of kids. I be at the gym. I see a lot of kids that's like, and I talk to them like they gravitate to me, call me Uncle G and shit, but whatever.
We all get that.
You know what I'm saying, right? It's like they don't have their father in their life, and I see like they're in there vaping and doing all kinds of other stuff. It's like, damn, like my son ain't gonna do that. I bring my son with me to the gym. They're like, oh, that's your son. Like, okay, your dad's cool. This and that. So it's like I see that, and I refuse to have that for my son. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always gonna be there for him until God take me away. It's like I feel like I overcompensate for what I didn't have as far as that piece, to where like I'm overly doing it for him. And people are like, oh, you spoil him. But hey, it is what it
I don't
is.
say it's spoiled, I just say he loves.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
My pop, so he's still like he's always involved. So with my daughter, like he because she's the only granddaughter, so it's like all the attention on her at all times. So even with him, it's just like even though to a certain degree I might not have that connection with him, he has a connection with her in his own way, and I appreciate that. So it's like to a certain degree, I'm not saying we gotta be like products of our environment. We can always switch it up. So my thing is, when I am with my daughter, I'm a very emotional person. So my love language is quality time and physical touch. And that's how I am with my daughter. I'm very hands-on. We have a daddy-daughter relationship. I'm very affectionate. I do want it a boy, but I can't guarantee a boy. But it's like,
Keep trying.
but it's like, I see it like this. It's like, as boys get older, it's more so like, all right, pops, I love you, bye, I'm out. Like, no, nigga, I still want to get a kiss. I still want to get a hug. I still want to be affectionate. For my daughter, I can be like that. No matter from she's young till she gets older. I love that. Whereas the boys just like RIPs, I'm not like, yo,
what? Cause my son,
like, hold on, now I didn't do something. This is what I get. But then you be like, oh, hi, mom, on the screen. Like, oh, wait a minute. But no, I'm not saying that mom's not present. You know, they got their own little thing going on with their kids and having their own relationship. I get that. But we're talking about fathers right now. You know what I'm saying? So it is so, even when it comes to single women being, trying to be in their masculinity, trying to raise a son to be a man. To a certain degree, you can try, but you can't because you don't know what it's like to be a man.
Right, yeah.
So I give them kudos for trying to do that, but at the same time, stay in your lane because, again, this is for a father to do. But I get it. Not everybody's built for that.
So, here's a question for both of y'all. Do you see yourself, and I know I said overcompensating, but do you see, so think about some of the stuff that you experienced, like the trauma, right? And I know we showed the love and those things, but I know you were saying for you that you didn't know who he was, but you know what happened, you know what transpired, and you're eager to know, but so that impacted you in some kind of way, right?
Mm-hmm. To a certain degree.
So how are you protecting your little one from what you experienced? And you had it where Pops down the road, but wasn't there, step Pops was there. And I know you like, hey, I'm gonna be there regardless. But outside of that, what other ways are you kind of like, yo, I'm gonna make sure that he don't feel like this pain that I felt at a certain time?
I mean, I didn't even think about it like that. And like he has an off and on relationship with like my biological father too, but it's like I don't force none of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So for me it's like I'm there, his stepdad there too, so he good.
Y'all got a good relationship?
Yeah. He's loved.
He good all
He good. He good. But the thing about it is like, I showed love, and like you said, my son's 14, and I got to teach him he has his mama ways, and he has my ways.
Mm-hmm.
He get in the car sometimes, sitting there, and I'm just looking at him. You gonna speak? Hey, Dad. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Right.
Or he get out the car. Goodbye. I love you. Love you too. It's like I'm trying to teach him like, and then I know it's teenagers, but you gotta show that love every day because if I'm not here, you're gonna miss me. I know you're gonna miss me, and then you're gonna wish you could share that love that you have for me. It's like be more emotional. I'm not fully emotional like that, but like I show my emotions to him. Or I don't show it to many other people, but to him I do. And it's like it's okay to show the emotions because he don't get it like on the other side as much as what it is. It's more so hardcore, but you're gonna know this side too, that you have this side to do it because that can also be another thing as far as his relationships with a female. So it's like it's okay to be open and show that emotion. So yeah.
Well, what would you say? Like you experienced it. You haven't met so and so. So in you and because you and your daughter have a great relationship. But on the other end of that, like she experienced like outside of you, she does have her other parent, right? In the situations. So how do you like if you look at it, you're there for unlike your biological. But in the instance, how do you build that relationship, or how do you make sure she's protected? What do you say to her the days that she may not be around?
Well, when she's with me, I'm always fully present in the moment. So she's my center of attention. No matter what is going on outside of her, when she comes to my house and lives with me, she's the center of attention. So that to me is of importance. Let her know that you are loved no matter what. Especially recently because I don't condone this, but her mom allowed her to wear weave. So it's like I try to tell her, Mama, even though you feel like, I guess to a certain degree, to have long hair is pretty, you're pretty just naturally who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to instill that confidence at an early age in them. And I feel like our words are so impactful. And I try to be very mindful what I say to her, tell her my words, with how I say to her. Recently now she's catching an attitude. I don't know if it's a certain phase that she's going through, but with girls, I try to, it's hard to be, you can't be too strict and you can't be too lenient. You gotta find that balance.
How old is she?
So she's 9. So at 9 years old, I'm like, okay, you're getting a little bit older. Pretty soon, your menstrual will start happening maybe at, everybody's different. It could be like 11, 13, whatever. It could be earlier than that. But I'm trying to regulate her emotions to say, okay, talk to me, what's going on? So there's times where I do get upset, but I gotta check myself. Or my mom checks me and says, look, you need to be more open and receptive to what she has to say. So I'm like, okay. So it takes my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister. It takes a community, a village to raise a child, especially because I'm by myself. So I take heed to all that. And so when she's present with me, I say, okay, Mama, what can I do to make things better for you? How can I make things easier for you? And I don't try to put anything that I've been through on her because that's a different situation. I don't compare her to other kids. I don't say, well, this is what I've been through, so this is what you're gonna do. No. Nowadays, I feel like they got it better because we get them options. Whereas before we didn't have no options. This is what it is. This is what you're gonna do.
It's that, yeah.
Now we're like, okay, you got A and B. What you want to choose?
You want to eat this?
Yeah, you don't want that. Exactly right. So like, okay, well, what can I give you that you're gonna eat?
For real.
All right, fine, we'll do that. But it's like I told her when I was raised, it was this is what you're gonna eat. If you don't want to eat it, then that's it. That's on you. So I'm like, you can have it much better. It's different than how it was back in the day. So understand that you should be more appreciative of what's going on. You are in a privileged position because perhaps I need to take you to other kids who don't have parents at all,
I feel like
who
we
don't
should.
have the basic necessities like water, a bathroom, their own bedroom, like where they're sharing things with other people, where it's like you have no individuality. So it's like you are so comfortable to this lifestyle that this is all you know. And I can't blame you because this is what I exposed you to, because I want nothing but the best for you. But at the same time, there's that caveat to that, which is how we were raised and to how lifestyle we're giving them. We're not giving them that. This is what it's like to have or to be without. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, listen, right before I came here, my son was like, Dad, I can't fit these pants anymore. I just throw them in the trash. I'm like, no, we ain't throwing them in the trash. Like, you got people, kids out here that don't got, like, no. I don't know what to do with them. Like this boy. Dad, I can't wear these shoes no more. Swear to God. This boy got so many Jordans and Dunks. Some of them he wore one time. Oh, I don't like them. I like this. Like, I'm like, what am I raising? And it's my
How
fault.
many times you wore that jersey?
Huh?
How many times you wore that jersey?
I just bought it.
How many times you gonna wear it?
I'm getting some wear out of this.
Twice?
I'm not him. Trust me.
You sure?
I wear. Listen, I'm not like that. I promise you.
I
Everybody
see
know.
you in Jersey.
You see me in 2 jerseys. I wear my clothes. I'm not like that. Trust and believe me. What,
3
hold on.
jerseys.
Why you trying me like that? I promise you. I wear my clothes. I'm not bougie like he thinks he is and stuff.
You're not bougie.
I'm not bougie. I'm the furthest thing from bougie. I'm cheap as hell. Everybody know that.
Frugal.
Yes. I'm going to trust me. When I buy something, it's because I'm like, dang. Alright. I gave in. Unless Tito's or some shit kick in, and then I do that impulsive buying. Other than that, wahoo. Alright.
Retail therapy, that's all.
That's
You
it.
spill
Ain't
my
even
red
retail.
up on you, man.
Real spill.
Listen, go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Real spill. Anybody watching, y'all can vouch for this.
Nah, I ain't vouch for nothing.
They can vouch for
You
that.
bought a whole outfit to come out to where I
Well,
was.
I literally bought a jersey,
And
but
the
that
shoes,
wasn't
like,
for
just
this.
gotta match my shoes.
Oh, my
We had
God.
shoes and different shirts at home. But hey, what you saying? He
Anyways.
will.
Anyways, I wear my shoe. Man, edit this shit out, cause
Knee slapper.
Alright. Anyways, back to our regular scheduled program. Yeah, I don't know where that kid get that from, boy. Where he get that from?
But you got, I mean, think about it though. Nowadays, especially when it comes to sneakers. Cause I'm a sneakerhead too. I'll wear a lot of sneaks, but at the same time, if they don't feel comfortable, I'm gonna give them to somebody else.
Don't point at
That's
me.
different
Could
then.
you give them to me? Don't be pointing at me.
That's different though than just letting them sit. He just let them
He
sit.
saw that. He saw that.
Like, no, but no, real spill, like, that's different. He's gonna give them to somebody. My son just let it, I bought a pair, I can show you. He picked the shit out. Pair of Jordans,
He
right?
picked it up.
I had to force him to wear them. I swear he wore them one time. I'm like, why you wear them? Oh, I don't like them. Nigga, you picked them out. What you mean? You better put them on. Right? Took him and bought him some clothes. True story, just last week. And I think I bought the shit like 2 months ago. May have been 2 months ago. He in here telling me that I had just bought him a whole outfit. He wore it. Now the next day, oh, I ain't got nothing to wear to school. I'm like, quit playing with it. I go in the closet. I'm like, what are these? They got a tag on it. He tried to pass by me real quick, right? I said, damn, I just bought the pants what 2 months ago. I forgot. I forgot because I go to work at 8. My mom usually drop him to the bus stop, so I don't be knowing what he wear and stuff, right? Oh, I don't like them pants. Well, if you don't get in there and put them goddamn pants on right now, like, quit playing with me. And he's looking at him and jump. I said, that's when I realized last week, I'm like, this kid, like, I got to do something different with this boy because they ugly. My money wasn't ugly when I bought them.
Yeah, for real.
You know, like,
So speaking of trying something different, what I did with my daughters, I got a debit card. So I said, like, you'll accumulate money by doing chores. But whenever you want something, you'll understand the responsibility of spending money. So you're gonna subtract whatever that you buy. Now she don't wanna buy nothing. It's like, all right, well, I want to save my money.
that was him. He got a Cash App card, sending money. So to start school off, right? Me and his mama gave him money. It was cash, and he think he rich and stuff. Cause usually, like last year, I bought him like 6 pairs of shoes to start off, and all kinds of clothes. So I ain't doing that. I'm gonna give you the money and let you do it, right? He started spending his own money. We went to one store to do to him 65 for some pants. I said, now you see, when it was me, it was fine, Dad, I want these. Now when it's coming out of your goddamn Cash App, can you take me somewhere else? I was dying, like, quit playing with me, boy. Yo,
You understand the value of it then when it come out your pocket.
He still trying to hustle though, like, it's.
I mean, now he get that naturally though. Alright. No. This guy.
Well, think about it. We all have kids, or a child. Do they have siblings? I
His
mean,
mama's side,
that's what
yes.
I'm saying, but not
I don't.
Right.
He's my only kid, so it's
Right.
like,
But that's how we all of us.
Yes.
Right.
And he know he the same way. He over trying to call, man, what? Stop.
We spoil him because that's our only
That's
one.
exactly.
Junior, I'm not gonna lie. Junior is spoiled. And he knows he's spoiled. Like, and it's not just me. It's not just me. Like, he can go. He can go to my mama's house, and he got a plethora of stuff. Individuals, they come to the house. Like, when you come to the house, or certain people, and he be like, oh, I got somebody new. He'll take him to the room, or he'll be playing, and I could escape. He'll be like, oh, boom, let's write on the board. Let's do. He knows. So, and I'm gonna be real. He get that from me. He knows how to maneuver a certain way where things start to be like, oh yeah, boom. But the one thing, like y'all was saying, you got the Cash App card, you got the debit card. What I've done, and it's not for him currently, but what I've done is discipline myself. And what I do is, so because I don't have the traditional like 9 to 5, I put myself on breaks, right? And on the breaks, I'm like, okay, so you have a break from this time to this time. If you don't heed to that break, when you get outside of it, you gotta put $200 into his custodial account or his IUL, his life insurance. So it's set it up where now his custodial account is more so where his mom and I can control it, but IUL, it has a compound interest, right? So it's to set him up for life. But then I was like, that's not helping him. That's not helping him, because this boy, we go to the store, I want this, I want this, I want this. So I was like, dang, he's only he only 2, so it's so much you can do.
Right.
Like I can't take him to the store and be like, yo, your money, use your money, because he
You
gonna
understand
be like,
value.
still your money, daddy.
Yeah, you understand
So
value.
what I started doing is I started giving him a toy, going into like Walmart, going into the mall, anywhere, and he be like, oh, I want this. He be like, Dad, this. Like he knows. I'm like, oh, okay, give me this. And I take it. He be like, that's mine. No, it's ours now. No, that's mine. So we're arguing back and forth in the stove. And then he be like, I be like, but you want this or you want this? He was like, he's stuck. And he's like, give me this. And the reason for it, I want him to know that everything is not like, sometimes we have stuff and we want other things that's not going to be given to you.
Mhm.
Like, there may be times that it may be given to you, but it's not.
Mhm.
And you have to make a decision.
Mhm.
So at his age, I feel like he's at an age at 2. So I feel he's smart. To me, he's very smart. At 2, I feel like, yo, like you got to figure out if you're gonna make a decision, what works. And there, I've had it where he thing that we had brought in, that boy threw it on the ground and he grabbed the new thing.
New one, yeah.
He grabbed the new one. I was like, dang, well,
They know, man.
all right. But he picks it, so now he's starting to get accustomed. So I gotta work on something else. But the one thing I do is with his mom, because I saw when we were talking about at 5 years when I was 5, I saw my mom and my dad argue. One thing I told his mom, I was like, I don't care how we rock or whatever, we ain't on the same page. I don't care. We not arguing.
Do it in front of
We
the
not in
kid,
front of
yeah.
him. Not in front of him. I don't care how old he is. Hey, no
That's key,
no
man.
tough conversations, no nothing. We gonna be aligned. I don't care if we go, you go to Africa and I go here. Like he ain't gonna know it. We need to stay. Let's stay aligned. Let's not put that in his head, because I know how I feel. I know how I feel.
How y'all feel too about, like, I see a lot of parents, right? Like they kind of like put a burden on the, not just necessarily a burden, but like as far as like when they're struggling, they put it on the kid, letting them know that they're struggling. How you feel about that as far as like a parent? Because I don't believe like my son seeing like if I'm struggling, like he ain't gonna know that I'm struggling type thing.
Even if he does, that's not okay.
It may be, but for me, it's like I don't want you to see. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't want you to be put in that because it's not your fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? Tactic for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I can answer. I do not. Up until a certain age, I don't want him to see the struggle. I don't want him to. Now, when he gets to a certain age, it's not personally my struggle I want him to see. I want him to see, like, I want to challenge him in certain circumstances.
Right.
That basically as, all right, now this is what you do for when you work. So, like my stepdad, and maybe I could be wrong. I ain't never gonna say I'm right, but I want, hey, empty the trash, this, and this. If it's not done, then yo, you ain't got lunch for school today.
Yeah,
You got this.
Yeah.
And now you hurting. Oh, that's what happened when you don't go out and do your responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put him through a struggle, but not initially the
Different type
struggle
of-
that I went
yeah.
to. So he has a more of an understanding instead of being. You've seen it where a lot of these kids they privileged.
Mm-hmm.
I go to boom, they call me Unc too. They're like Unc, but even then I talk to them. They're privileged. Yesterday I was hooping and the dude's like, yo Unc, yada 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 yada. But they got the whole microphone set up. They got the thing, same stuff we was talking about that I was like, y'all want to do. They got it all set up. I'm like, yo, like why do you keep every time you drive to the basket you falling and breaking it? Oh, my mama give me another one. Yo, you don't understand. There was a point in time that I break something, my mama ain't give me nothing. They're privileged. I don't want my son to be privileged. I want him to understand the ability to actually accomplish certain things, to appreciate.
Yeah, and I feel like that too, because I see like a lot of kids that go to school, like they know they're struggling, and then like they take that to school and the teachers and stuff towards like, oh, my mama can't afford this, my mama can't afford that. So now you're actually looked at differently than the next kid. They may be struggling, however, you ain't gonna know that.
Mm.
But like your parent is literally putting this on you, so now you're going out and you're repeating that because they're at certain ages to where they don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? They're just repeating that shit. So it's like it kind of put them at a disadvantage to a certain extent for me. So I couldn't do that with my son. Like,
Because of how they'll be treated in society.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get it.
I feel like you look at it different because you were about to say something earlier.
I do.
All right, talk
So
to
I
me.
take the uncanny approach. So it's like I kind of give her, to a certain degree, the best of both worlds. And it's like, well, I'm going to show you how it feels to be without. I'm going to show you how it feels to have more than enough. So, like right now, I've been unemployed for 6 months. And she knows that hey, you haven't been going to work. Yeah, I know that. But I've been financially comfortable to save for a time like this. And so when you get into a situation where you have all your ducks in a row, you tell her this is how you plan for things. You know what I'm saying? This is, to me, you gotta have a plan. And I wanna instill that her at an early age that, okay, no matter what, always have a plan to take care of yourself. Because nobody's gonna love you as much as you love yourself. So there may be times where I may not be here. You know what I'm saying? There are gonna be times where I'm not gonna be here. Because, what's guaranteed is death. She has a friend who's 6 years, she's now, 1 year under her, so she's 8 years old. And her father had died when he was 20. So it was like my daughter was like, damn, like my friend doesn't have a father at all. And it's like, and I told her, I said, mama, like sometimes in life, you gotta appreciate the small things. Give people their flowers and love while they're here. Because just like her dad, he could be gone. You know what I'm saying? He was only 20 years old. So it's like I kind of instill in her the importance of the fragility of life. That no matter who you are, how young or old you are, you will die. Don't be scared because you're absent from the body, present with the Lord. So I want her to have a relationship with God because of that. But I want her to know that growing up, there's going to be times where you'll be without. But there'll be times where you have an abundance of things. So which do you want? You know what I'm saying? And that all depends on you and your work ethic. Sometimes nobody will give things for you. I'm not a prideful person, but I don't go ask for help unless I absolutely need it. Because to me, I'm a provider. I'm a producer. I'm gonna be somebody who's, okay, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna show you. But I'm always been, at the same time, a little complacent sometimes, as I told you before, and you know this, I'm always used to having a 9 to 5. So I never had a backup. It's just like, I'm good with what I got. But this is why I commend you so much, and I give you the utmost respect. Because I've seen you in the corporate world making decent money, and you transition from that to doing your own thing. I watch you struggle, and now you leveled up to the point where it's like, this growth that I've seen from you, this transition, like I've seen it in many different facets of your life, and you've grown so much. That's why it's like you've become more than just a friend. And I'm your son's godfather, so it's like, just seeing that, it's like, I remember you didn't have kids, but now you have a child, and it's like, you just see that transition. It's like, to me, you gotta give people these flowers now, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, there's gonna be a time where even if Junior wasn't here, I'm gonna take care of him as if he was mine. I want a boy, I'm going to my boy right there. That's how I see it.
Real spill. Real spill. We hustlers. We always gonna get it.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Right, figure it out.
I got a question. All right. As this guy, as where we are now, fully transparent, do you feel you're completely healed from your past trauma?
Oh yeah.
Wait. Okay.
Well, why yeah? And the reason why I asked why yeah, due to the fact that one of the things you said initially earlier was I still want to know the ins and outs, like talk to me. So to me, that's a chamber that has yet been channeled. So it leaves a openness, kind of sort of.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, it's my psychology background, which helps me to be headstrong. So it's like, even though that happened to me, I can't control that. So I accept what I can't control. That doesn't define my mom, her marriage, my father. I can only build from that and grow from that. Even though I don't know him, it's okay. Because I'm going to be the best father to my daughter.
How would you be if you met him?
I can't say. Unless I'm
So-
in that situation.
Correct. So, true. So, damn, I'm trying to think of the proper way of saying it. Boom.
I mean, it'd be nice to,
He pulled up today.
but I mean,
He pulled up today, and he's like, "Yo, G, this is me, yada yada yada," and he's talking to you. Like, if you can actually go into a mindset of being like, "Yo, I met this dude, like this dude I've been looking for my whole life," and he actually like exactly of the fashion and everything. Y'all sat down and y'all chopped it up. You had the opportunity. How would that feel to you?
I mean, we would definitely put a lot of things on the table as far as one question that I have. But at the same time, one of the main questions would be, how did you allow yourself to impregnate a woman who was married? Because that, to a certain degree, defines your character, at least for me. Because that is something that you don't do. But at the same time, a lot of times as guys, we are defined by being opportunists. You know what I'm saying? We are only as faithful as our options. So you give us that option, more times than not, women give us that option to have sex, we gonna do it. But to the point where she's married, it's like, come on now.
You never been with someone married?
I have. So
Can we take a drink to this conversation? So, like,
I am my
This ain't a
father's
bonus.
son.
Oh shit!
so that being said, right? So you asked him that question, right?
Oh
You
boy!
asked him that question. How did you, knowing
He can't even get it out. He got one. Don't do it.
you asked me that question, you understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is that like? Really, what does that look like to you? Like,
Well, I didn't understand the magnitude of what I did or what he did until I got older. So, going through this stage or transition of trying to be the better version of myself was reflecting on my decision making. And one of them is having sex with women just for the sake of having sex. Because, as we talked about before, it's soul time. And you don't understand the magnitude of it until, especially something like this happens. I got a child out of this. But then again, he doesn't know. But it's like, when you go to that point where we're exchanging bodily fluids, we are exchanging a sense of intimacy. It's like, that's another level of seriousness for me. But it's hard, and there's really no universal answer to how you handle the situation because everybody's situation is different. But for me, it's like, as you get older as a man, it's like, okay, what am I doing? Is it beneficial for me? Is it advantageous for my lifestyle, for what this person is, who they embody, because it affects your character. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you to be having these relationships with multiple women, having all these kids with multiple women? Like, how can you be present for all these kids? I just don't understand that. But at the same time, everybody's lifestyle is different. You know what I'm saying? I don't judge. So it's like, do your own thing, to each his own. But to me, as long as you say you take accountability, I say that's my thing, accountability. If you take accountability for it and say, you know what, I was wrong, I apologize for doing it. What happened, but how do we build from here? Okay, I respect that.
I don't know how I would, and maybe it's just me. I know my brother and I, we have different fathers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then my stepfather, who's my dad, has his daughter. But like, in your situation, I understand, right? But being in the middle, like me personally, I feel like I commend you. I gotta give it to you because I don't think I'll be mentally strong. I think I'll just be more of a what they call the Job child, the child that kind of just went, I'm about to do my own thing. Because when you think about it, I'm trying to say it the right way. I'm the only one that's like, yo, this side and this side is here, but I'm not. Like, what the hell? Like, what? So, how do you,
That's what makes you
how do
so
you
unique
manage
though,
that?
because you're an outcast.
Yeah,
you're-
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Being an outcast, being an anomaly, is to me, I say beneficial, because it's like, all right, I'm not black sheep, but I take it in a beneficial way. So it's like I use that as motivation. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I may be different, but that's the best part about being different. It's like being normal but better. That's just how I see
I
it.
feel like it evolved you though.
Well, for sure.
Like, because
Mhm.
through everything that you aspired, like, or went through, like, you grown from.
For sure.
How do you feel? Do you feel you still deal with your from things of your past trauma?
Absolutely, not from like fatherhood, but like other relationship wise.
Relationship.
Yeah, but we're gonna say that for another.
No, talk to me.
We'll
Relationship.
say that for
No,
another.
talk. I want
Nah,
to hear this.
it's about to, we gotta.
Like,
Get up, B.
Brandon. I feel like he's running.
I ain't running. I'm just saying, like,
Don't you feel he's running though?
That's a cliffhanger for the next episode. That's what it is.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to
So you
tell
scared
you.
of relationships?
Who?
Oh.
Scared?
Oh.
No. But
Single by choice.
definitely think about choice.
If you can leave something for somebody right now that's dealing with childhood trauma, on when it comes to their kids and when it comes to themselves, what message would you leave?
Hit it head on. Deal with it. Don't just let it go and let it linger. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
What would you say?
Always continue to work on yourself. Always. No matter how young you are, how old you are, always work on yourself and find out what are some of your triggers, what are some of your vulnerabilities, and tap into those things. Work on being a better version of yourself. It's an ongoing process, but embrace the journey.
Facts. If I was to leave anything, I would say you can't change the past. You only can grow and move forward. And forward movement may not look like the average, but it's actually moving into a better you. So just keep stepping forward. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am Malcolm McLeod, King Mal. This is your boy.
G.
This is your boy.
This is Brandon B.
And as you all know, you have actually tuned in into the Sticking Point. See you guys at the top.